Give me a Diablo sandwich and a Dr. Pepper. Hey again, troops. Bring you up to speed. Got this wall spaced out. And drill some holes through the studs so I can run wires, put in electrical boxes. I've put some foam. I had a bit of a gap there, so I put some foam down in that. It's foaming up wherever there was little gaps. This stud here looks wonky because it is. That's the one I had to put in without the wall being apart before, so it was what it was. And I straightened that out with this spacer. So, yeah, I'm gonna put some boxes in here. Hopefully I get it right. My brain is not here yet. And I'm only running on about 2.5 hours of sleep since yesterday. But we're getting there. And I have left one spacer out on this stud because we're gonna put a sliding window in here. This wall's all wired now. And putting on some strike plates. And hope to be doing some insulation soon. And framing out a window. Maybe with any luck get the window in. Supposed to have an inch of rain today, imagine that, right? So the window's here. We'll see what happens. Old man's in his element. He gets to destroy my stuff again.
The problem is I left my steel branded Sawzall in the truck.
Oh.
I can't cut windows without a chainsaw.
Oh, cry me a river.
Well, it's your windows.
You know, just running around with a tape measure, sticking it in the wall doesn't actually make it legit. You know what you're doing.
That's close enough. You really think I actually know what I'm doing?
I don't know what I'm doing.
I claim to be a mechanic. I'm not a carpenter.
Oh wait, I'm an insulator. That's what I'm doing.
You're a designated power ring tester.
You're the one that always shows up the power ring.
Well, you know, when you are slacking on testing the power rings...
Well, they never change. They're all unhealthy for you.
No, they're good for you.
Dave's just making a mess, and I'm actually doing something productive, putting in insulation. Fun stuff.
You have fun with that.
Oh, yeah. Tons. Give me a Diablo sandwich and a Dr. Pepper. Make it quick.
I don't know how. What's a Diablo sandwich?
What a loser.
How about a liter of cola, Farva?
Well, we got the window in. Yeah, just setting the window in the hole of silicone. Dad, I have to go potty. Kids in their perfect timing, right?
Mm-hmm. They always show up when you least expect it.
That is true.
It's kind of like, you know, it can be 2 in the morning, you're finally able to get you some, and Dad, I need a glass of water.
Dad, I need this. Dad, I need that.
Or Mom, I need this.
Yep.
The problem is when they're like 19 and they come in and, Mom, I need a sandwich.
19, you're out of the house, kid.
Is that how it works nowadays?
Yep.
I know I keep hearing about these long-term basement dwellers.
the keyboard commandos.
Yes, yeah, they're good at leaving comments for you.
Yes.
The ones that wouldn't know a hard day's worth of work if it bit them in the head.
Yeah, that's right. Get my fingers dirty. That's not what I do. We made it before the rain comes. Supposed to have another inch today. That's what they're saying. It looks like it's coming. We're gaining. Dead bug. My brain ain't braining. He's sitting out there sticking his head in his phone doing that thing. But
I'm trying to imitate a millennial.
I said, range hood might be a good idea. Why didn't you think of that? He's the one that's supposed to come up with the good ideas. Well, I thought if you wanted one, you'd think of it. You can't get good help these days.
Nope.
So, the stove, everything from behind you right now is going to wind up over here in the same configuration. And we're going to have the fridge, counter space, sink above this new window, below the new window. Then another counter space, and then the stove. So now would be the time to put a wire in the wall for the range hood. So we're going to do that right now. And I'll have to pick up a range hood and the vent kit for it. Not a bad idea. Be able to suck smoke out. Start frying up them good old delicious deer burgers and deer steaks and stuff. It does get a little smoky in here, so something to help suck it out before the dinner's done alarm starts beeping. Having fun?
I'm having a blast. How about you?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to fix the wire right now, right? Right here?
Staple right there, yeah.
Right there?
Right there. You sure do look good down there.
Yeah, I sure wish you brought me some knee pads.
I can go find you some.
Now.
You want pink?
Golden. Trying to make it look like he's done something.
I'm putting up a piece.
Big piece.
You know how heavy that is?
What do you need for that last piece?
I don't know. Get a measurer? What you got going over there?
Well, you just said I'm doing an unboxing.
Well, you are unboxing.
I could find a box I'd like to crawl into, but it's not going to be quite this dry. This is the EG4 3000 watt inverter kit. We haven't taken nothing out of the box yet until just now.
Brand new in the box.
Brand new in the box. Battery cables.
Been sitting around for a few months, but it is still in the box.
Yep. Master breaker for your batteries. Complete with a piece of DIN rail.
Ooh.
So you can mount the breaker. They didn't do that when I got ours, the first one. Destruction book with some cables, programming stuff, and the destructions, and we know where that goes.
Yeah, get to the juicy stuff. Get to the juicy stuff.
If this box is juicy and this inverter's juicy, we're sending it back.
Get problems.
Well, you know I've got problems.
Yeah.
Oh, the little made in, I'm going to talk to Taiwan, I mean China.
Yeah, we don't use those.
Dongle. Actually, you don't, I do. I've got the one going over there.
Oh, so they can shut you off now.
No, they can't shut it off.
All right.
Shut it off. I unplug it, and guess what? It works again.
That's what you think.
Not when you've got the firmware backed up to bypass it.
That's what you think. Get to the expensive stuff.
It is. I'm giving you the phone. That's the good part.
I get the stuff.
Here's the other expensive part.
Yeah, packaging.
That costs more than the rest of the inverter.
Probably.
Oh, he must be talking about this piece.
Yeah.
The heart, the brains, the soul, the best part. As you know, we've been running one now for 2 years. Over there. And the best thing is, it just works. Unlike SunGold.
So we have two identical inverters now, both at 3000. Because each one does 110, 120 volts, whatever you want to call it. Well, a problem we've been running into is we've got a line running from their place over to here. The generator's over there. So all the power hubs over there. And we get a line running over this way to charge up batteries if need be off the generator. Not very often, but sometimes. Well,
More so in the winter.
yeah. The generator produces 220 volts. So you got 120 on one line, 120 on the other line. 240, 220, hand in hand, right? So the problem is, charging, we were getting an imbalance. Especially if we were trying to charge that building at 220 and this building at 120. It was imbalancing the generator. So, the logical thing to do was put this building at 220 also. Rather than going and spending a epic ton more money and getting another inverter that's 220, which would be like double the price of one of these, you can phase these together and get your 240. 220, 240, same thing.
You can also stack a dozen of these together to increase your amperage. Plus, you can use it to increase your number of solar arrays.
You can use it to increase your electrifying experience too.
Well, you're the one that's putting your tongue on the battery to tell me if the darn cables are hot or not.
Yeah. So, right above his noggin, this round thing here, up on that wall, we've got the wall up there now.
My built-in hat rack.
Yeah. Gray matter container. We're going to put the inverters side by side up there. And there's one over there now, as you can see.
If you get out of the
all
way,
the
they
power,
can see it.
I know I'm fat. All the power stuff is getting shifted to this side. So, here we go.
Just give me a screw me gun.
Gimme.
Ooh, oh, I knew I was going to get screwed on camera. Somebody told me I'd never make it as a porn star, but you just proved it. I will.
Don't worry. You're a failure.
Damn it.
You hurry and get them screws up there. Make sure we can get the vent out.
I'm only worried about getting one of them in first.
So on the sides of these, you got air vents. One on this side, one on the other side. And you got a couple little screws that you can take out to clean out the foam in there. So we don't want to hug it right up next to the wall. We want to have some spacing. Yeah, these little inverters, I mean, look at that. It ain't nothing. It only weighs what, 30 pounds?
Yeah.
Compared to that freaking sun gold trash. You ready? You ready?
All you gotta do is hang it.
Yeah, don't drop it. I mean, it took 2 men and an ape to pick that freaking sun gold up.
See? One sheetrock screw.
Yeah, that would have sheared that sun gold would have sheared a freaking light bolt off. Well, another thing we have in the box over here is a freaking Titanic anchor.
We'll be okay.
I'll go get it in a minute. We got more stuff. Oh. Yep. That is a Titanic anchor.
But it's lithium. It's supposed to be lighter.
It ain't.
Imagine how much that power would weigh if it was lead acid.
Yep. Here's the filter off the side. Ain't that nasty? Behind the filter is a screen. Yep. So there's two of those. I'm gonna step out the door with the air nozzle and blow all that mess out. There's one.
I've got some batteries at work we gotta move that weigh this much.
I don't want to kill my back any worse than it's already dead. So
So I'm using my weak arm.
He's gonna be He-Man, do it all himself here. I wonder why he's back.
I'm used to it.
I'm used to it. I'll just keep doing it. Yeah. I'm already deaf, so I'm gonna beat that nail gun next to my head. Steve's working on setting this up to do the 240. And, well, he's working on that. I'm working on bringing over the solar lines. We got 2 new cables here. 20 footers, because the 10s weren't long enough. 2 20s. They better be 20s. So I need to get from outside over there. I'm going to come up into that loft space, run underneath the deck, which is still out, and bring them over and drop them down. So that's my portion of the project at the moment. And then we have to put the breaker panel back in, and we're getting there and trying to juggle dad duty in between all this. All right, guys, we're gaining. Dave's been through, done the programming. It apparently is talking to each other, and looks like it's going to work. Before we power anything up, we'll put a fluke meter in here once this gets wired to make 100% sure everything is looking the way it's supposed to. Here's our solar leads coming in. Haven't connected them yet. Those are going to go into here. So grid power 240 coming in from your power company. You have what's called line 1, line 2. So for our application, this is your line 1 and this is your line 2. So I'm going to wire this all together into this panel. This is going to have 220 volts. I call it 220. It spits out of the mouth easier. 220, 240. It's still going to suck if you grab it. So I'm going to have 120 out of here, 120 out of here, coming into here. We're going to have 220 in this panel. Then from this panel, we're going to break it down just like a normal house to whatever loads. 220 loads, 120 loads, and go from there. So that's the mission. Trying to do this neat as we go. So the L1 coming in, coming down, goes in, and I'm on my left terminal in here. And we have to do common ground, common neutral between the 2 of these. So using the neutral ground bus bar in here, which is bonded, and that's what's going to make this all common. So my L1 is in, my L1's connected. Now I'm going to bring in my L2 and do the same thing and put my hot, my black, your ouchie wire is going to come in on the right lug, and then we will go from there. Well, we're powered up to the panel. Haven't done any loads out yet. Just going to check everything, make sure everything is kosher. So with the fluke meter, leg to leg, so L1 to L2, we should have 240 volts. And then one leg to ground, we should have 120. Leg to ground, we should have 120. So, meter man,
Leg to
meter
ground.
maid. Get untangle it. So ground to leg 1, line 1. What do we got?
121 or 120.
To leg 2. What do we got?
120.
We match 120. So going across the 2 of them, we should get double that.
241.2.
All right. So everything.
Now, you're good.
Everything adds up. Everything jives.
Quick, hook the water heater up to it. Or the electric clothes dryer.
Yeah. So right now that panel is the same thing you got in your house. 240 volts. Still gonna do some cosmetic work here, neaten things up. The 2 load wires are just stuck in the panel for now. Everything is getting revamped, but I want to get some lights back on in the place for the night. Yeah, the load wires are going to be going through this wall, going up forward, going into the new addition. Gonna wire in the opposite wall, so there's still a lot more to do. But for now, they're stuck in. Let's see if they work. Got an air compressor. Lights turned on. That's a good sign. Making pretty good progress for limited work time. And well, we'll close this one and open you up another one.